2 days ago, Gavin Newsom, the Lieutenant Governor of California, released a video on his Facebook page. He directed the video to the NRA, and at the end of it, he tells us that he's coming for our guns. Granted, he throws in a little caveat there at the very end that he's only referring to the NRA members who are violent felons. But so let me play a little bit of the video here. I'm going to stop it as it goes and throw in some comments and see what we got here. Let's take a look at this.
I'm California Lieutenant Governor Gavin Newsom.
So my first thought, as soon as he starts, is this.
Silence! Your voice is grating on my ear nubs.
All right, tough it out, Matt. You've got to hear what he has to say so that way you can address it.
Today, the only thing more predictable than the next mass shooting is the moral cowardice of elected officials.
Moral cowardice? Who's this guy kidding? This is coming from a guy who blames a group of Americans who have never been involved in a single one of these mass shootings. He's constantly blaming the NRA, and the NRA is not responsible for any of these. And really, a guy who cheats on his wife with his campaign manager's wife has absolutely no ground to be talking about morals.
Will ignore it. They hide behind thoughts and prayers and plug their ears with NRA hush money.
NRA hush money? How many times does this have to be debunked? Since 1998, the NRA has donated to federal members of the House. They've donated a total of $4.23 million since 1998. Since 2010, when Gavin Newsom first ran for statewide office, he has collected over $9 million in donations. Kind of a difference there. Longer time frame, much lower amount of money to a huge number of people compared to one. So this guy's got no room to talk about where money comes from.
While always claiming it's too soon to take real action.
What exactly is real action? Every time something happens, they want to jump out while the emotions are hot and they try and get laws passed. Even the queen of gun control, Dianne Feinstein, admitted on camera that these laws would never have stopped the shooting in Las Vegas. Yet they constantly point to that as a reason why they need to pass more gun control.
Could there have been any law passed that would have stopped him?
No, he passed background checks registering for handguns and other weapons on multiple occasions.
Meanwhile, Americans wonder if they'll ever be safe at a church or a school or a concert again.
Ah, yes, the scare tactics. Let's fire up those emotions and get people all riled up.
Californians are saying enough.
Would that be the same Californians who voted to let felons out of prison sooner? The same Californians who decided to lower the severity of a number of crimes? The same Californians who let a convicted felon, illegal immigrant with a stolen gun get away with murder when he shot and killed an innocent woman? Those same Californians?
A state with nearly twice as many firearm dealers as there are McDonald's.
Sure, when you say firearms dealers and you're referring to every single person in the state of California who has an FFL, that's like comparing every single person who's ever cooked a hamburger for someone other than themselves and calling them a burger joint. It's not the same thing. We're not talking brick and mortar stores. You're talking firearms dealers. There's all kinds of firearms licenses. You can't just lump them all in there and make everybody go, oh my God, there's so many dealers out there. And really, does it even matter how many there are? They have a license. It's not like they're selling guns to people illegally. They have to obey all the laws or the ATF will yank their firearms license.
We passed Proposition 63. Starting in January, we'll begin forcing convicted violent felons to give up their firearms.
So we're going to start taking guns away from violent felons? Who's this guy kidding? Does he think anybody is really dumb enough to believe that it was legal for violent felons to have guns prior to Prop 63? Does he think anyone is stupid enough to believe that violent felons are suddenly going to just turn in their guns because they passed yet another law making it more illegaler for them to have guns? And what exactly is he talking about? Praising Prop 63 is taking guns away from violent felons. He and his cronies in the state capitol just passed a law lowering the sentences for people who use guns in violent crimes, up to and including shooting people. This is the same group of people who wrote and passed and supported Prop 57, which reclassified a number of violent felonies as nonviolent. And by violent felonies, I'm talking about domestic violence, drive-by shootings, rape, those kind of things. Those are now nonviolent felonies in California because of Gavin Newsom and the people that support this gun control.
So if you're a dangerous criminal, we really are coming for your guns.
And there's that qualifier again, dangerous criminals. Because the NRA has so many dangerous criminals in their membership that he had to address this video to the NRA just talking about their dangerous criminal members.
But state laws alone cannot solve America's gun violence. We still need federal action. So this holiday season, let's demand the GOP Congress stop praying for gun lobby donations and start taking real action to save lives.
And there you have it again, real action. I'm not sure what real action he's talking about that's going to save lives, especially considering even Dianne Feinstein says these gun laws wouldn't save lives. Again, as I've said many times to Gavin Newsom via Facebook and via Twitter, anytime you're willing to sit down and have an actual debate or discussion about the efficacy of gun control laws with someone who actually enforces laws on a daily basis, I'm your guy. Step up anytime. But I suspect I'll keep hearing crickets like I always do, because he knows as well as I do and as well as many of you do, his side doesn't have the facts. They've got emotions.